morning.
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 We're on Tzadik Aleph Amud Aleph. Owning someone who has lost a relative, they haven't buried them yet. We have a fakechet agal, someone who's digging, a house has collapsed on somebody, and he's trying to dig them out. There could be a mace under there. He was in prison, but it was promised that he's going to be taken out of prison today. A sick person or an old person who at least can eat a kazayas meat. On all these people, shoichtin aleim, you can do the shchit of the Korban Pesach. Not for themselves, though. Al kulani and shoichtin aleim b'fnei atzman. If these were the only types of people you couldn't do it, you have to do it in a group. Because Shema Yavios Pesach Lidei Psul could be that they're not Roy. It's a suffix whether they're Roy. And Lefichachem Ira ben Psul P'tur Pesach Sheni. Now, if a Psul happens, but at the time that they shechted the Korban Pesach wasn't sure that they had a Psul, they would be potter from Pesach Sheni. Except for the person who is digging the person out, because then he's going to be a suffix mace, suffix tumas mace, which the Torah has a special din that they have to go to Pesach Sheni. When do we say that it's a suffix? Whether he's going to be released, that's if he's in a non-Jewish prison. If he's in a Jewish prison, you can check even for himself. Kivan daf techinu. Once they promised him mafikle, they're gonna take him out of prison. Techsiv, sheviz Yisrael lo yasu avla v'lo yadabu chaza. Even the remnant of Klal Yisrael will not do evil. Arnav chesed hadam is based on denochrim, and that which we said about the goyish prison law, amar and lachutz lacham is based pagi. That's if it's beyond the environs of Yerushalayim. Even if he's in a non-Jewish prison, you can bring him the Pesach to eat. So it's no problem. You can check from and give it to him to eat in the prison. In here, if there was a psul, they would be potter from Pesach Sheni. That's if it's like a house built like a circle, where wherever he's going to be, there could be a dead body below him. Aval gala ruch, but if it's a long rectangle, where he could be on one side of the rectangle and the mace is on the other, then Potter B'Lasos Pesach Sheni, it's a complete suffix, it's not a vadai. Ema Torah Yabishah Shchita, because you could say that he was not Tomei at the time of Shchita. Somebody who is trying to dig somebody out from a collapse. It depends. Itim potter, itim chayiv. Sometimes he'll be chayiv Pesach Sheni, sometimes he'll be potter. Ketzad. Gala gov and imses tumatachta. If it was a circular place, the dimensions of a human body, where it's vadai that if they find him there, he's going to be tamei, then he'd be chayiv to do Pesach Sheni. Gal aruch and imses tumatachtav, potter. If they find a mace in that rectangular place, you know how I say that he's chayiv Pesach Sheni, he's potter because ema Torah Yabishah Shchita could be that he never was mahil over the mace. He never provided an ohel over the mace. Mishnah. Ein shachtas a Pesach ala yachid. You can't shech the Korban Pesach for one person. De Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi matir. Machloikas tanoim. Vafil chabor shel meya. She'ein anichol lechol kazayis. If you have a group of 100, it's not totally in how many people. It's totally whether you can eat a kazayas. If it's a yachid, you can eat a kazayas. You can shech for him. If you have 100 people who can't eat a kazayas, you don't shech for them. The final halacha, ein oisin chavuras noshim avodim ketonim. You don't make we don't know what that means. You don't make groups of women. Is it groups of women with avodim or by themselves? But the Mishnah says you don't make groups of either women, avodim, or ketonim. Torah Rabbanan. Minayin shein shachnus ha-pesach ala yachid. Talmud lomer lo sochal yizbachas ha-pesach be'achad. The Rabbi Yehuda, he says a pasuk.
Ernie, just on a note, we were by Tzvika Shir, I don't know if you remember, we're learning that women and men sit together, right? So sometimes they sit together. So how did they sit by the Korban Pesach? In other words, but what he paskins over here, I don't know, a group of women, slaves, and minors, right? So the women and slaves and children that you're not allowed to have, but it doesn't say anything about men and women sitting together.
No, men and women sitting together is not a problem. This Mishnah says noshim and avodim because of pritzus.
Right, it says because of pritzus, because that's pritzus, but obvious that nashim and avodim is pritzus, but sitting with your husband, your family is not pritzus, obviously.
Exactly. And l'chora noshim by themselves also, if you had a group of noshim by themselves, wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, well, that's what he paskins also there.
Right.
That's
the Rambam says, mutar lasos chavuras noshim.
Permissible to form a group consisting only of women, a group consisting only of slaves, and also only of slaves.
That's
but
correct.
It must be, why would slaves be chayav the korban? They must be Eved Ivri.
No, because an Eved Kanani is, the Torah says, the Torah specific has a pasuk that kol ben nechar, and kol kinyan kaspo, you have to feed him the korban pesach.
Feed them the korban pesach.
Yeah, so he's a physical asset that you own. So you have a chiyuv to feed him.
Okay, shkoyach. Thank you. Sorry.
Rabbi Yossi Oimer Yachid v'yachal la'achlo. If a yachid can eat a kazayis, shechtin alav, you can shecht for him. Asar avein yichadim la'achlo. If you have 10 people, that's not totally in how many people. It's totally in their ability to eat it. Ain't shechtin la'aleim. Rabbi Yossi. What does Rabbi Yossi do with the pasuk that says Lo suchal izbach pasuk ba'achad? My ovid le meboy leilach Rosh Rab Shimon. He uses it for a different drasha. The Tanya. Shimon Oimer minanu zavechas pischo bebamas yachid. At the time that the private mizbeach in the 14 years of Gilgal and in the 57 years of Nov and Givon, where they were permitted to use a private backyard mizbeach. But there's a machlokas whether or not you can offer a korban pesach on such a mizbeach. Rabbi Shimon says you can. No, Rabbi Shimon says it's a lav that at the time that the bamos are prohibited, that's when the Mishkan Shiloh is operating, the base of Mikdash is operating. That's when there's a lav. Maybe when the bamas are permitted, I would think there's a lav. But they only said the lav el b'shab. It's a lav to offer the korban pesach on a private bama when Gans Klal Yisrael is going to a central Beis Hamikdash, like the Mishkan and Shiloh, or the Beis Hamikdash. But at a time when you're in a bamas yachin, it's permitted. You can even offer the korban pesach there. Rabbi Yehuda holds the same din hamin ali. How does he know it? Tartish mamina. He learns the achad to teach me two halachas. Rabbi Yossi, my delachi to come Rabbi Shimon. And how does Rabbi Yossi? Maybe it's like Rabbi Shimon. Dilma to come Rabbi Yehuda also. Maybe. How did Rabbi Yossi know it's not like Rabbi Yehuda? The haksiv ish lefi achlo. You eat the korban pesach each according to his ability to eat it. So it's nothing to do with how many people are there. It's the ability to eat it. Did Rabbi Yehuda really say that you can't shech the korban pesach for a single person? Raminu. Isha barishon. If a woman shows up first, Shoychten aleh b'fnei atzma. You can shech for her by herself. Uvasheni, that's Pesach Rishon. Then you can shech for her. But Pesach Sheni, then you have to make her tefela. Oisnes or tefela lachem. She has to be part of a group. Div Rabbi Yehuda. But yet you see, Rabbi Yehuda holds that you're allowed to do it for a Yachid on Pesach Rishon. Amr lei lo tem b'fnei atzma, with a hey, aim of the atzmon, plural, women, but not singular. Amr lei mi avdina chavur shekula noshim. Can you make a group all women? V'hatnan, what about our Mishnah? Inoisin chavuras noshim v'avodim uktanim. My love and our Havamin in the Mishnah was noshim l'chudayu, avodim l'chudayu, uktanim l'chudayu, that you're not even allowed to do them as individual groups. Amr lei lo. Noshim v'avodim uktanim means a combination of these groups, but individually they could. For example, noshim v'avodim mishum tiflus. That's they're going to do averas. Ktanim v'avodim mishum pritzusa. That's mishkav zachar, says Rashi. Homosexuality. So we don't let that groups together mixing, but individually you can. Gufa isha barishon shorten alevifnei atzma. Pesach Rishon, you can shech for a woman. B'sheni, oisnesot felachir. She has to be part of a group. Div Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Isha b'sheni shechton levifnei atzma. You can shech for a woman on Pesach Sheni as well. And certainly ain't tzarich loma b'rishon. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Isha b'rishon oisnesot felachir. Rabbi Shimon holds, even by Pesach Rishon, she has to be part of a group. And b'sheni ain't shech leleh koleker. She's not involved in Pesach Sheni as well. Now, what's this three-way machlokas? B'may kamiflagi. Rabbi Yehuda Sover b'michsas nefashos. Afilu nashim. Women are nefashos. And therefore, they're part of mitzvah of Pesach Rishon. V'chitei meyach afilu b'sheni nami. So why shouldn't they be part of Pesach Sheni? Ksiv cheto yisaha ishahu. When it describes the dinim of Pesach Sheni, that if he doesn't do it, he's going to have a sin. Ish in, ish alo. It refers to a man, not to a woman. So then maybe a woman should not be part at all of Pesach Sheni, not even in a group. However, the laws of Pesach Sheni say, all the dinim of Pesach Rishon should apply to Pesach Sheni. Since Pesach Rishon, he held that women are involved, so Chol Pesach says they can be involved as a group in Pesach Sheni. Now, what was Rabbi Yossi's svar? Rabbi Yossi, my time, it again used the word nefesh, which implies afilu isha. Uksiv b'Pesach Sheni v'nichritzu nefesh ahim Yisrael. Nefesh afilu noshim. So you see, according to Rabbi Yossi, women are involved in both Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni. So elacheto yisaha isha who's being excluded? Lemute mai, lemute cotton mikores. That a cotton, if he doesn't do it, Pesach would not get kores if he didn't do the Pesach Rishon. V'Rab Shimon ksiv b'Rishon ish. It also says the word ish even by Pesach Rishon. Ish in, ish alo. That's why Reb Shimon says it has to be tefela. Well, maybe a woman shouldn't be involved at all. So ahani le b'michsas nefashos l'tefela. The fact that it says nefesh, at least that helps women to be part of a group. So maybe she should be b'tefela b'pesach sheni. No. Mi'et rachmana b'sheni. She was excluded. T'chsiv cheto yisah ish. Ish in, ish alo. Now, mimai kumamoyle. How do you know it's meant to exclude her? Because if we're going to say she's excluded from obligatory Pesach Sheni, that we don't need a pasuk. Hashta b'rishon lo. If we've already proved that she has no chiyuv Pesach Rishon b'sheni boy, the whole Pesach Sheni is related to your chiyuv on Pesach Rishon. If she doesn't have a chiyuv on her own Pesach Rishon, we certainly don't need a pasuk to teach me about chiyuv on Pesach Sheni. Elalav mitzvela. That the miut is even being part of a group. Now, umay ish to come Rab Shimon. When Rab Shimon learned ish, how does he learn it? Or which ish is he referring to when he says there's an ish by Pesach Rishon? Inema v'chulahem ish sela boys sela besavos. So he can't use that. Hahuma boileth Rav Yitzchak. The Amar ish zoiche ve'en kotten zoiche. That a man can be zochen kinyonim for other people, not a kotten. Elo ish lefi achlo. So Hamid Rabbi Yossi, Sarvalok Rabbi Shimon. So that what you said, Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Shimon Nami Sarvalok Rabbi Yossi. And Vahuma Boila, the Shchutin Pesach ala Yachid. They use that pasuk to say that you can check the Chorm Pesach even for an individual. Amalacha, he will answer him, Kein Ichtov Rachmana. You don't need to say Ish Lefi Achlo. Could have said Lefi Achlo. My Ish, Shema Mina Tarti, you learn both halachas. So, Kaman Az Lahadam Rabbi Lazar. Who does the following opinion go like? Isha berishon chova. A woman is obligated Pesach Rishon. Uvasheni reshus. It's only a reshus for her Pesach Sheni. The doiches haShabbos. Now, what is the doiches haShabbos going on? Pesach Rishon or Pesach Sheni? Reshus. If we're talking about Pesach Sheni, and it's only reshus, why would it be doiches haShabbos? Ela ema b'sheni reshus uvarishon chova. The dochas Shabbos, because it's a chayva, it's dochas Shabbos like all Pesachs. Keman Rabbi Yehuda, like we said, Rabbi Yehuda holds that women are fully chayiv in Pesach Rishon, not like the other mandam. On Rav Yaakov, on Rav Yechon. Enoisin chavor shekula gerim. You also don't make a group that's full of gerim. Shema yedagdigu bo v'yaviu l'dei psul. Gerim are very careful in halachas. They're going to be so careful that they're going to passel the Pesach, and they'll end up nobody's eating it. Hi, Larry. What's going on? Yeah, but 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I told me to call at 9. It's your patient. He could. Hello? Yeah. Oh yeah, I told you. Yes.
How you have to do Shabbos for Pesach Sheni? You shechte.
Oh, not Pesach Sheni. There is no Docha Shabbos Pesach Sheni.
I know, but why even have him in? How would you be doing
Why
Shabbos?
shouldn't you? Your Pesach Sheni is a replacement for Pesach Rishon.
I know, no, but what, have him in? Why would you have to be?
Let's say it fell on Shabbos. Let's say it fell on Shabbos.
No, but I mean, there wouldn't even be a question to be dochen to have it.
Why not? Pesach Rishon is Doicha Shabbos. Pesach Sheni is a substitute for Pesach Rishon. All the dinim k'chol v'kasa Pesach. We would say the same laws that apply to Pesach Rishon apply to Pesach Sheni.
So how Pesach Rishon? How would you have to dochen Shabbos?
You have to shecht.
No, you shecht before. You shecht before.
No, if Erev Pesach falls on Yud Daled.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we're not allowed to shecht things on Shabbos except if it's like a korban or something. So
I mean, it was if Pesach.
Korban Chagigah, you don't shecht on Shabbos.
It was Saturday night. In other words, Saturday night would be the Pesach.
Yeah, Pesach.
Saturday,
yes, Erev Pesach is Shabbos.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Rabbanon. Pesach matzah moror. B'rishoyna choiva. Only the first night is a choiv. Mikan ve'elech rishus. The rest of Pesach, you can eat matzah. Well, we don't know yet. It's talking about Pesach matzah moror. Beyond the first night, it's a rishus. Reb Shimon Omer ba'noshim choiva, which seems to imply Pesach matzah moror is only a choiva for men. The noshim rishus. Now, ayokoi, which halachas are we talking about? Ilem about Pesach kol shiva miyika. There is no din of Pesach, 7 days of Pesach. It's only the first night anyways. Ela matzah mor. We're talking about matzah mor to eat. It's only a choiv the first night. The rest is rishus. Aim is seifa. Reb Shimon Omer, ba'noshim choiv of noshim rishus. We can't be talking about matzah because it's not a rishus for noshim. It's a choiv for them. Less later, Reb Shimon, does Reb Shimon not hold of Hadam Rabbi Lazar noshim chayovas bachilas matzah dvar Torah? Women are, because remember, we have a problem. Matzah is a mitzvah sasei shazman grama. It's tied to time. Normally, women are potter from mitzvahs as jazman grama. So yet the din is they're chayv lechilas matzah even dvar Torah. Why? Shenemar lo yisor chalav chametz shiva semim to chalav matzahs. So we have a hekesh. Kol sheyeshav val toichal chametz. Whoever's in the parsha of the law of eating chametz yeshlo b'kumechol matzah has a positive commandment of eating matzah. Bahani noshim. Women are mechuyev and all lavim in the Torah. So what are we talking about the last 7 days? Ema Pesach matzah moror barishon chova mikan ve'elech rishus. And the din is we have a chiyuv to eat matzah daraisa only the first night. It's moror is only midrabanan, and the rest of Pesach it's a rishus. We want to eat matzah, you can eat. You don't want to eat, you don't have to eat. Reb Shimon Omer Pesach b'noshim choiva b'noshim rishus, and Reb Shimon holds that the rest of Pesach, that even the night of Pesach, it's only rishus for women. We don't paskin that way. We paskin that it's a mitzvah saseh for women as well to eat, and Pesach Sheni for women is a rishus. Okay, so we're going to learn tomorrow at 7:00 p.m.